Good morning. Welcome to Morning Special. 여러분 안녕하세요. 2월 18일 화요일 최수진의 Morning Special입니다. Now, we didn't have the coldest winter in years, so to speak, but it wasn't short-sleeve season either. And with the recent snow we had, temperatures have dropped significantly. And that's definitely inspired us to seek more warm drinks, such as hot chocolate, for example, which will have more fans now, especially after I tell you about its health benefits. 하루에 코코아 3잔을 마시면 말초동맥 질환이 개선된다는 연구 결과가 나왔습니다. 최근 미국의 한 연구팀에 따르면 코코아를 마신 말초동맥 질환 환자는 코코아를 마시지 않은 환자보다 6분 보행 테스트에서 최대 42.6m를 더 걸을 수 있었다고 하고요. MRI 촬영 결과 다리로 흐르는 혈류도 20% 증가했다고 합니다. 연구팀은 이번 결과에 대해 코코아 속에 있는 에피카테킨이라는 성분을 꼽았는데요. 바로 이 성분이 환자의 미토콘드리아 활동을 향상시킨다고 합니다. What a delicious way to boost one's health, don't you think? With that in mind, let me give you today's first quiz question. Hot chocolate is preferred by many children and adults alike because it is 1번 sweet, 2번 sour, 3번 elegant. 오늘도 청취자 여러분의 많은 참여 기다리고 있습니다. 퀴즈 정답 보내주신 분들 중에 추첨을 통해서 총 5분께 뉴욕타임즈 1개월 구독권 보내드리겠습니다. 또 여러분의 소식과 소감 그리고 방송 중 궁금한 질문 있으시면 보내주세요. 반디 게시판 무료로 이용할 수 있고요. 짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045로 보내주시면 되겠습니다. Now let's start the show by greeting the one and only, the very sweet Steve. Good morning.
Good morning to you. No more snow today, which is nice.
It's very nice indeed.
I mean, it was pretty falling from the sky for a couple of days,
Yeah.
but in terms of keeping your car clean or getting around, it's much
Yeah.
more convenient when it's not there in the city, right?
Exactly. My car is a white car, but after it was
How many
covered in snow,
Yeah.
it turned grey.
How many days of the year is your car actually white, though?
I know. So I got my car washed yesterday and I realized, oh my goodness, it was a different color all this time.
Yeah, and you have to really look at the weather report if you want to time perfectly
Yeah.
the washing of your car.
Yeah, I'm normally terrible with that.
Yeah, I mean, if you wash it on Saturday, of course it's going to rain or snow on Sunday, something like that. Oh, it's exciting, isn't it? Talking
Yeah.
about the health benefits of hot chocolate
chocolate.
this morning.
Exactly. Apparently, there's a sort of antioxidant, a phenol inside hot chocolate called epicatechin, and this helps to sort of regulate metabolism and also produce energy. So it's not only delicious, but it's good for you.
So the next time you take a sip of your hot chocolate, you can say, epicatechin. Taste that epicatechin in there. I can feel my body changing right now. What's that? I don't even know what that is, epicatechin.
I had to look it up. In Korean, it's epikatekin, but I looked it up, and in English, it's epicatechin, and it's a type of phenol, which again I had to look up, which is a type of antioxidant.
Oh, they are antioxidants. I see.
So yeah, I should have paid more attention in science class when I was younger.
That's the hard thing about food. If you look at a food label,
Yeah.
it's so hard to know all the things that are inside, right? Those are scientific terms that 99.9% of us don't know.
Basically, though, it's good for you.
Exactly. That's all we need to know,
Produces
right?
energy.
Yeah.
So if you're lacking energy this morning, maybe a sip of hot cocoa will do the trick.
Goodness, I can't even remember the last time I had a hot chocolate because I'm not sure if it's true in Korea or not, but I think in Canada, we kind of think about hot chocolate as a children's drink.
Yeah.
which is maybe fair or not fair. I don't know. But maybe it's more common for children to drink it than it is for adults. I don't remember the last time I had a good old cup of hot chocolate.
네, 여러분은 마지막으로 따뜻한 코코아 드신 게 언제일까요? 몸에도 굉장히 좋다고 합니다. 이렇게 코코아 속에 있는 그 폴리페놀 에피카테킨이라는 성분이 있다고 하는데요. 굉장히 몸에도 좋을 수 있고 또 맛있고. But everything in moderation, of course. You don't want to be drinking hot chocolate all day long.
As they always say,
Yeah.
everything in moderation.
Absolutely. Now, we're going to have our daily dose of preventative measures against the new coronavirus, which we know now as COVID-19. And today we're going to take a quick look at some questions related to the virus answered by Professor Chun Byung-yul, who was the former head of the Center for Disease Control. 질병관리본부장을 지낸 전병률 의과학 대학교 예방의학과 교수 여러 가지 Q&A를 토대로 오늘 COVID-19, 코로나19 감염 예방법 살펴보겠습니다.
Okay, you want to give me the first question then?
Sure. So now there are, in Korea, 30 confirmed cases. 2 were confirmed over the weekend, and the patients didn't have a history of overseas travel. They didn't have close contact with any of the other COVID-confirmed patients. So what do we know about the infection's route?
Well, the professor said that after the nation's first confirmed case on January 20th, no confirmed case of infection was reported until February 15th, just a few days ago. The situation seems to be that there are people in our community who are infected that are yet to be identified. It is the beginning of a communal contagion.
communal contagion, 지역사회 감염의 시작이다 이런 얘기가 되겠고요. And there are a lot of people who are quite nervous, and we still don't know how they got infected. That's what's causing the nerves, I suppose, right?
That's right. And they are conducting a precise epidemiological investigation to find the route of infection for the confirmed patient number 29. However, since that patient is confirmed to be in his 80s, the data, such as cell phone history, credit card transactions, and even transportation cards, are unclear. So the quarantine authorities are looking into recent visits and contact that the patient might have had through interviews.
80대의 확진자인 29번 환자의 감염 경로를 찾기 위한 역학조사가 실시되고 있다고 합니다. Now, anyone who shows signs of pneumonia that doesn't know the cause will be tested for COVID-19?
Yes, these checkups were also conducted in 2009 and in 2012 during the MERS outbreak. The test is to examine whether any pneumonia patients have been exposed to COVID-19 before.
네, 원인 모를 폐렴 증상을 보이는 분은요, 모두 코로나19 검사를 받게 된다고 합니다. And the number of fully recovered patients has also increased. And whether citizens are aware or not, the use of masks seems to have decreased. So what should we do about, should we continue to wear masks, basically?
It is important to wear them around people with symptoms, and it's important to keep your health safe and reduce the risk of infection by wearing them, especially those who work in places with large numbers of people, such as department stores.
네, 그렇습니다. 완치된 확진자가 많이 늘었고요. 심내 경계심도 조금 준 것 같습니다. 마스크 사용을 이제 조금 덜 하는 것 같은데요. 그럼에도 불구하고 마스크 착용은 하는 것이 좋습니다. Final question. Are there any precautions for indoor exercises like fitness, yoga, table tennis, or even swimming?
It's also true that many people worry about other people carrying the virus in places designated for indoor exercise. So if you have respiratory problems, please refrain from using these facilities.
네, 호흡기 증상이 있으신 분들은요, 이런 실내 운동을 자제해 주시는 게 좋겠고요. 그 외의 분들은 위축될 필요가 없다. 이렇게 교수님은 말씀하시고 계십니다. All right, so we went over some tips there by the former head of the CDC. With that said, let's start with today's global headlines. 자, 이제 세계 각국 언론사들의 어떤 헤드라인이 올라왔는지 살펴보는 시간입니다. Touch Global Headlines.
Voices calling on top leaders in China, including President Xi Jinping, to take responsibility for the COVID-19 outbreak are rising by the day.
중국에서 코로나19의 초기 대응을 두고 시진핑 주석 등 최고 지도부의 책임을 묻는 목소리가 갈수록 커지고 있습니다.
A man has died from COVID-19 in Taiwan, causing authorities to increase the number of people eligible for testing.
대만에서 코로나19 사망자가 나오자 대만 당국이 검사 대상자를 대폭 확대하는 등 바짝 긴장하고 있습니다.
Chinese authorities have announced that they are cleaning and storing banknotes across the country to stop the spread of COVID-19.
중국의 중앙은행인 인민은행이 코로나19 확산의 매개체가 될 수 있는 현금의 위생 관리를 강화하기로 했습니다.
Controversy is rising in Malaysia after it was revealed that adoption of babies were conducted through Facebook and other social networking sites.
말레이시아에서 페이스북 등 소셜 네트워크를 통해 아기 입양 거래가 이뤄진 것으로 드러나 논란이 일고 있습니다. To listen to those headlines again, you can go to our website, Morning Special 홈페이지에 들어가셔서요. 무료로 지금 읽어드린 헤드라인 다시 들으실 수 있습니다. Let's go over the headlines.
Headline number one this morning. Voices calling on top leaders in China, including President Xi Jinping, to take responsibility for the COVID-19 outbreak are rising by the day.
네, 중국에서 코로나19의 초기 대응을 두고 시진핑 주석 등 최고 지도부의 책임을 묻는 목소리가 갈수록 커지고 있습니다.
So authorities have acknowledged for the very first time that Mr. Xi was aware of the epidemic and involved in the response nearly 2 weeks before he first spoke publicly about it, and also while officials at its epicenter in the city of Wuhan were still playing down its dangers. That new account risks drawing the president directly into questions about whether top officials did too little, too late, and in an internal speech published on Saturday, President Xi said he had issued demands, this is a quote, issued demands about the efforts to prevent and control the coronavirus January 7th during a meeting of the Politburo Standing Committee. That's the highest council of the Communist Party, and those sessions are usually very secret.
That date we'll have to keep in mind, January 7th, because it wasn't until about 2 weeks later that China officially announced they were going to take measures against the new coronavirus. But during those 2 weeks, if the top officials, including Premier Xi, knew about this, people are now saying, what were they doing? Were they just sitting back and letting the virus spread? Were they covering it up? What was going on?
Well, the president's advisors may have hoped that publishing this speech, which was delivered on February 3rd, talking about this unprecedented lockdown of Wuhan and other cities that began on January 23rd, what they hoped was that would dispel speculation about his recent retreat from public view and also reassure his people that he can be trusted to lead them out of the epidemic. But you're right. People are asking, well, if you were aware of this way back in the beginning of January and you didn't mention it publicly until 2 weeks later, what exactly was going on during that period of time?
네, 그렇습니다. 1월 7일에 이미 코로나19 대처를 위한 회의가 중국에서 이뤄졌다라는 보도가 나오면서 이미 이렇게 1월 초에 알고 있었으면 왜 2주 후가 돼서야 공식 발표를 했느냐 여러 가지 의구심이 지금 제기되고 있습니다.
Yeah, so what's going to happen next, I guess, is up in the air in terms of responses, but people are questioning whether he took this threat urgently enough in the beginning, and they're also speculating that this might make it difficult for him to shift blame onto local officials for what many see as the government's early mishandling of this epidemic. He did fire a couple of officials in the area of Wuhan, in Hubei, but they might think, well, now that we have this information, it might make it difficult for you to look at other officials and say, this was more your fault than mine.
Yeah, absolutely. Some media outlets are saying that this is possibly the biggest blow to Premier Xi's position since he took office. So we will have to see how that story and it turns out.
Yeah, back in early January as well. And we talked about it on this show. I remember I said it on this show. Officials in Wuhan were giving open assurances that human-to-human transmission of the virus was unlikely. And some government experts agree. I remember that very moment I sat in this chair and said, we don't have to worry because human-to-human transmission is not possible because that's what was reported in the news. But this new information that has come out, it places Mr. Xi's involvement in fighting this epidemic much earlier than was previously known. His earliest public comment came on January 20th. And even when he gave that January 20th comment, that's when he gave brief instructions that were published in the state media.
Yeah, it didn't seem that serious until that point. 홍콩 언론은요. 여러 가지 경고에도 불구하고 중국의 지도부가 안일하게 대응했다 이렇게 보도를 하고 있고요. 우한 봉쇄령이 너무 뒤늦게 내려졌다. 그래서 이 초기의 시기를 놓치는 바람에 급속하게 확산한 것이 아니냐 이런 얘기가 나오고 있습니다. Staying with the COVID-19 story, let's go on to headline number 2.
A man, pardon me, has died from COVID-19 in Taiwan, causing authorities to increase the number of people eligible for testing.
대만에서 코로나19 사망자가 나오자 대만 당국이 검사 대상자를 대폭 확대하는 등 바짝 긴장하고 있습니다.
A taxi driver has died from the coronavirus in Taiwan, marking the first such death in that part of the world and the fifth fatality outside mainland China. The health minister, Chen Xin-chung, said during a news conference on Sunday that the man who passed away was a 61-year-old who had diabetes and hepatitis B. And Taiwan has, to date, reported 20 confirmed cases.
네, 그렇습니다. 중국 외에서 이렇게 사망자가 5번째로 발생했다는 소식인데요. 대만의 61세 남성이 입원 후 2주 만에 사망했다고 어제 밝혔습니다.
The man who passed away, he had not traveled abroad recently, so he was not overseas. As I mentioned, he was a taxi driver. His clients were mainly from Hong Kong and Macau and mainland China. Also, one of his family members was confirmed to have the virus as well. And this constitutes Taiwan's first local transmission cases. And the authorities are trying to find out the source. A quote is that so far, we are not able to gather his contact history, so we are actively making investigations, hoping to find out the source of the contraction.
One of the reasons they're not able to track his whereabouts and who he met and everything is because he was driving without a proper license, apparently. So maybe this is complicating things. Everything was a little bit murky.
Well, I guess his job in general would make it hard to know where it exactly came from. I mean, we just talked about one of the tips these days for people in general is to perhaps stay away from exercise locations because there are a lot of people in there and you don't know who those people are. If you're a taxi driver, you know, it's very difficult for you to know who those people are that have been in your car and also where they've been and who they've been in contact with.
Exactly. Very true indeed. Well, we have another COVID story to cover, and that takes us to headline number 3.
Chinese authorities have announced that they are cleaning and storing banknotes across the country to stop the spread of COVID-19.
중국의 중앙은행인 인민은행이 코로나19 확산의 매개체가 될 수 있는 현금의 위생 관리를 강화하기로 했습니다.
This is very interesting, and this is something that didn't occur to me that could be a really smart step in the prevention of the spread. Chinese authorities are literally cleaning the country's banknotes. Speaking at a press conference, the country's central bank said it would disinfect and isolate used currency notes as part of an effort to stop the spread. And this is how they do it. They use ultraviolet light or very high temperatures to disinfect the yuan bills, and then they store those bills for up to 2 weeks before recirculating them.
Because if you think about it, people do actually say that money, a currency in general, is not the most hygienic thing to carry around, but especially if it could possibly be carrying the virus. We're looking at a contaminant here. 이렇게 중국에서는요, 질병 확산 중점 지역에서 각 은행을 통해서 현금을 회수하고요, 소독을 하고 2주간 보관을 한 다음에 다시 고객들에게 제공한다고 합니다. Yeah, it's going to take 2 weeks to disinfect these.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting too about the ultraviolet light because we talked about it on the show. It was one of the questions, wasn't it? Can ultraviolet light be used to disinfect your skin? And I wondered at the time, oh, that's interesting. I wonder where that question came from, and perhaps that was the source of this question.
Right.
Anyway, they're wondering about how much of an impact this will have because in China, just as here in Korea, mobile payments have taken favor over cash. A lot of people use their cards as opposed to using bills to pay for things. So it's yet to be seen how much of an impact this will have, but they are taking steps to do what they can. Also, interestingly, at the same time, the bank made an emergency issuance of 4 billion yuan in new notes to Hubei province before the recent Lunar New Year holiday. You know, the idea there is issuing new notes. You don't have people's fingerprints and the passing around from person to person with new notes.
Exactly. In some of the hardest hit areas, and by hardest hit, I mean areas that a lot of the confirmed patients had been in, they're saying they may even just get rid of the banknotes completely instead of disinfecting them. So depending on which part of China you're looking at here, they could just be scrapping these banknotes altogether.
Oh, interesting move. Yeah, and where is this going to go? This is going to be our final Corona update of the morning, I suppose, coronavirus update. WHO officials have said it is impossible, and this is a quote, impossible to predict which direction this epidemic will take. So we've seen a drop, I think it was 3 days in a row now, that we saw a drop in the number of new cases, but we've seen this before. And then there was a spike, and the spike came because of how they were reporting the cases. But the warning is still there. Just because we see a decrease in the number of new cases, we still have to be vigilant.
네, 그렇습니다. 여전히 조심해야 되는데요. 바이러스를 퍼뜨릴 우려가 있기 때문에 중국에서는 현금인 위안화 지폐를 이렇게 소독을 하고 또 장소에 따라서는 곧장 폐기하는 그런 조치를 취하게 된다고 합니다.
Another good question, I mean, that I would have as a citizen would be, should we be cleaning our cards? And can we do that safely? I haven't seen that question pop up, and I don't know what the answer would be.
All right, well, we'll move on now to our final story, and this is in Malaysia.
Controversy is rising in Malaysia after it was revealed that adoption of babies were conducted through Facebook and other social networking sites.
말레이시아에서 페이스북 등 소셜 미디어를 통해 아기 입양 거래가 이루어지는 것으로 드러나 논란이 일고 있습니다.
A survey of social networking sites over the past month shows that multiple accounts are being operated under a particular keyword, and parents usually have to pay about 10,000 ringgit, that's about 2.85 million won, or up to 20,000 ringgit, that's about 5.71 million won, that according to local reports. Those who want to adopt can join a private social networking site group, and then brokers can arrange what they call baby deals if they write down simple personal details such as the reason for their adoption, where they live, and what they do. One 35-year-old woman was quoted as saying, I was asked to pay about 15,000 ringgit, 4.28 million won, for childbirth and other expenses in exchange for adopting a baby.
네, 그렇습니다. 우리 돈으로 약 280만 원에서 570만 원 사이의 돈을 지불하면서 온라인상으로 이렇게 아기를 거래하는 일이 있는 것으로 드러나 논란이 일고 있습니다.
This woman was asked why people would take this route because there are formal adoption procedures in Malaysia, right? But she said it takes too long to adopt the baby according to the government set procedure, and we can also not choose the baby's gender. And there was a response from Malaysian Vice Minister of Gender Equality and Family Development, and that response was, we will discuss the improvement of adoption standard procedures to curb adoption through black market transactions.
네, 그렇습니다. 말레이시아의 여성가족개발부는요, 암거래를 통한 입양을 억제하기 위한 표준 절차 개선을 논의하겠다, 이렇게 발표했습니다. Well, those were our headlines this morning. Let's remind our listeners of the quiz.
Hot chocolate is preferred by many children because it is blank. Is it number 1, sweet, number 2, sour, or number 3, elegant?
네, 계속해서 정답 보내주시고요. 뉴욕타임스 1개월 구독권 정답자에게 보내드리겠습니다. 총 5분께 추첨을 통해서 보내드릴 거고요. 노래 듣고 와서 여러분의 사연과 또 News Focus Stories 살펴볼게요. This is San Francisco by Scott McKenzie. Steve, have you been to San Francisco?
I've not. I've been to LA, but not, and as far north as Santa Barbara, but I have not been to San Francisco. Have you?
I have.
I really want to go someday. Is it amazing?
It really is.
Yeah.
The Golden Gate Bridge is lovely.
I've heard the food is incredible.
Food's great,
But
yeah.
I've also heard that for very popular restaurants in San Francisco, you may have to wait up to 2 hours to get a table.
Oh, I did not do that,
Yeah.
but I can definitely see that happening.
Yeah.
It's not a great place to drive, though. Very hilly.
Uphill, downhill,
Yeah,
uphill,
uphill, down,
downhill.
yeah.
Did you take, what do you call them? The cable cars?
Oh, I saw them. I didn't take them.
Yeah?
Yeah, I had a car that I rented, but yeah, those do. I don't know what they are. Trams, maybe.
Yeah, tram. That's
Yeah,
the word. Thank
yeah,
you. Yeah.
yeah.
What about the weather? What time of year did you go?
It was around October, November.
So it must have been cool.
Yeah, but it was pleasant enough.
Yeah.
You know, not cold at all, as far as I remember. And the seafood was just amazing.
Really want to go.
Pier 39, I think, was where I went. Anyway, it was just amazing.
Bucket list.
All these piers, yeah.
Someday.
Yes, alright. 뭐 샌프란시스코 노래를 듣고 오니까요. 갑자기 생각이 났습니다. 자, 오프닝에서 코코아 얘기를 했는데요. 많은 분들이 사연을 보내주셨어요. 9327님. 칼로리 때문에 못 먹었던 음식이었는데 이젠 적당히 먹겠습니다. 감사해요. Thank you for giving me a good excuse to drink hot chocolate, says our listener.
Yeah, exactly. Every time a new food study comes out where we think something that was bad for us, but now scientists say it's good, we always feel like, oh yeah.
Yes. 맞아요. 홍성희 님이 good morning입니다. 여긴 오송인데요. 아, 그렇군요. 충청북도 오송이군요. 밤사이 눈이 쌓이고 지금 기온이 영하 10도입니다. 너무 추워요. 이렇게 추운 날 아침 핫초코 땡겨요. 모두 따뜻한 하루 보내세요 하셨습니다. Minus 10 degrees in 오송.
Osong is a place I've never heard of before, actually.
Yeah, it's in Cheongju, in the north of Chungcheong.
Interesting.
And yeah, on a cold day like this, hot chocolate would be very nice.
Nothing better, right?
Yeah, absolutely. 0968님이요. 오호, 오 마이 갓. 어제 세일하길래 코코아 큰 통으로 샀는데 언제 다 먹나 살짝 후회감이 들었었거든요. 근데 지금 많이 우유 타서 먹어야겠어요.
You have the perfect excuse now.
Yeah, wow. This person bought a big, I guess, tub or, big, what do you call those?
Yeah.
Cans of hot chocolate powder yesterday and thought, should I not have bought this? But now they're like, yes, I bought it for a good reason.
Lucky you. That did not work out well for me when I bought the mayonnaise that I bought. I bought
The big one, the huge one,
well,
right?
and it was 1+1 because they used the tape to tape them together, and it was 9,000원 for all that
so
mayonnaise.
cheap.
I know, so I thought, oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I can get all that mayonnaise for $9. Yeah, I live by myself. It's not easy. I was putting mayonnaise on everything.
네. 자, 7811님이요. Good morning. 7살, 9살, 11살 세 아이의 엄마입니다. 아침마다 아이들이 따뜻한 코코아 달라고 외쳤는데 저는 코코아 너무 달아서 많이 먹으면 안 된다고만 했었어요. 그런데 하루에 한 잔은 괜찮겠네요? 폴리페놀이요? 오, 그럼 저도 같이 챙겨 먹어야겠습니다. 남은 하루도 즐겁게 보내세요 하셨습니다. My kids always ask for hot chocolate and I normally say no, but now I'll probably give them 1 cup a day and have some myself.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you want to make them feel good, you can say that word. What was that word again?
Yeah, I have to look it up.
I don't remember it.
I can't read it
Cachetat or
now.
something?
Yeah, epicatechin.
Yeah.
There you go.
I will never use that word ever again. Today is the only day.
difficult. Yeah, me too. 자, 그리고요. 축하 사연이 있습니다. 윤화진 님인데요. Good morning. 오늘은요. 큰아이가 초등학교 졸업합니다. 지금까지처럼 멋지게 잘 커줄 거라 믿어요. 사랑해 김지한 하셨습니다. Well, we'll have to sing.
Well, we said yesterday this week's music challenge was to match to the song that was played.
Yeah.
San Francisco, right? I want to wish you a happy graduation. When you graduate, when it's your birthday,
김지한.
when you graduate, is there anything in the morning that you're supposed to eat? On your birthday, you have miyeokguk, right?
Yeah, no, there isn't.
No
Not that
special
I know
food
of.
on graduation day?
Not that I know of.
Hot
네.
chocolate.
Yeah, that'd be great. 그렇습니다. 이번 주는 스티브 선생님과 제가 그 선곡한 노래에 맞춰서 축하곡을 불러드리기로 약속을 드렸어요. 그래서 오늘 샌프란시스코 노래에 맞춰서 졸업 축하 노래 불러드렸습니다. 내일도 이번 주 계속해서 축하 사연 있으신 분들 많이 보내주세요. Well, thank you all for your messages. Keep sending those in as well as the quiz answers. We have 5 New York Times 1-month subscriptions to give out. And yeah, we'll get to our News Focus story now. 자, 그러면 첫 번째 News Focus 살펴보겠습니다. 유럽연합 EU의 인공지능 관련 정책 초안 발표를 앞두고 미국의 IT 거물들이 EU의 사실상 수도인 벨기에 브뤼셀을 잇따라 방문하고 있는데요. Let's listen to the story.
Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook's chief executive, is headed to Brussels to meet with officials like Margrethe Vestager, the executive vice president of the European Commission. The main reason so many Silicon Valley executives are paying court in the European Union's capital, EU lawmakers are debating a new digital policy, including first-of-its-kind rules on the ways that artificial intelligence can be used by companies. That has far-reaching implications for many industries, but especially for tech behemoths like Google, Facebook, and Apple that have bet big on artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is seen as one of the world's most transformative technologies, yet it presents new risks to individual privacy and livelihoods, including the possibility that the tech will replace people in their jobs.
네, EU가요. AI 정책안을 한 석 달 내로 마련한다고 합니다. 근데 그 초안이 내일 19일 처음으로 공개될 예정입니다. New regulations regarding AI.
Yeah, and the big executives are traveling to Brussels now. Facebook executives, Mark Zuckerberg's there, Google, Apple executives, other big tech companies too, I would assume. And it's probably just to make sure that they're all on the same page. Oh, that's a good expression, on the same page. We'll talk about that one later.
Yep.
To make sure that they know what they're doing, to make sure that they're following the rules. And yeah, it says it in the article. You know, AI, it seems to be the future now. We cover stories that pop up from time to time about facial recognition and robots that can do this and that and autonomous vehicles.
Yeah.
And it seems like whether we like it or not, that is the way that the future is going.
What does it mean to pay court?
Well, to pay court is to give someone your attention or your time because you are trying to get approval or affection from them. If a young boy is trying to spend his time with a young girl because he likes her, he has a crush on her, and he wants her to like him,
Right.
then he is paying court with her.
아, 그렇군요. 비위를 맞추다라는 뜻의 pay court가 여기서 쓰였는데요. 실리콘밸리의 사람들이 이제 EU의 비위를 맞추고 있다. 이렇게 해석을 하면 되겠습니다.
Right. So these tech behemoths, as we call them, these big players, they're going there and they're going to listen to the executive vice president of the European Commission and try to get approval of their companies, right?
Yeah.
We have an expression too, to hold court, and it's not exactly the same thing. If you are holding court, it means you are the one that is talking because you have an interesting story and everyone is sitting around and listening to you. I think the perfect example of holding court would be Bong Joon-ho and the cast of Parasite at the Oscar parties after the awards ceremony. Everybody wants to talk to them. Everybody wants to listen to what they have to say. Bong Joon-ho was probably holding court.
아, 그렇군요. pay court는 비위를 맞추는 거고요. 그 비위를 맞추는 대상, 그 주인공은 holding court를 한다. 이렇게 표현을 하는군요. All right.
One more expression from this one, if we have time. These new rules that are on the way have far-reaching implications for many different industries. So if something is far-reaching, it means that there are decisions or policies or implications or effects that will have an effect on many different groups. And I think the easiest example right now that I can think of is the COVID-19 virus.
Right.
Because, yes, it is affecting people's health, obviously, but it's also affecting people's travel. It's also affecting the sale of Russian king crabs. It's also affecting the sale of Malaysian durian. So far-reaching, think about your arm when it reaches really, really far, then it has an effect on
Yeah.
things far away from you. And that's what that means here as well.
아, 그렇군요. 굉장히 지대한 영향을 가져온다, 미친다라는 뜻의 far-reaching implications가 여기서 쓰였습니다. 그 AI의 여러 가지 정책들이 나오면은 지대한 영향을 미치겠죠. Alright, 뭐 시간 관계상 다시 읽기는 생략하도록 하겠습니다. 그리고 여지영님이요. 이번 주에 꼭 있어야겠네요. 축하할 일 만들어야지라고 하셨습니다. This listener says, I'm going to make sure I have something to congratulate this week so that I can get you guys to sing for me.
You got
Very
it.
nice. 네. And she also said, 졸업식 날에는 중국집에서 짜장면과 탕수육이죠 라고 하셨는데요. Oh, okay. On graduation day, you're supposed to have 짜장면 and 탕수육. I think that's after the graduation.
Oh, nice. I've never heard that. Never heard that before.
Oh, is this a different person with the same name? 아, 동명이인이시군요. 이지영님. 알겠습니다. 감사합니다. 자, 두 번째 뉴스 포커스로 바로 가볼게요. 인도네시아 정부가 10년 만에 인구 조사를 시작하면서 한국의 인구 주택 총 조사를 따라하는 것이 목표라고 밝혔습니다. Let's listen to the story.
Indonesia will hire around 390,000 volunteers starting early April to help the 2020 census fieldwork in July as it aims to replicate South Korea's census success. Statistics Indonesia will combine door-to-door interviews and data gathering from the Home Ministry's Population and Civil Registration Directorate General for the 2020 census, making it the country's first time to use such a method. The population census is done every 10 years and aims to update data, the country's demographics, which are crucial to supporting certain policy interventions.
네, 인도네시아의 인구 조사 소식입니다. So what can you tell us about this?
Well, yeah, what they're looking to do, and they do this every 10 years, but this time around for their census field work is they're looking to copy exactly what we did here in Korea because they thought that it was very, very effective. So there's a couple of different methods that they will be using. One is door-to-door interviews. This is pretty self-explanatory, this expression. Door-to-door literally means going from one person's door to another person's door, knocking on that door.
Right.
Hello, we're from the Census Bureau, and we would like to ask you a few questions. That's what it means to go door to door. A couple of different examples. A salesperson.
Yep.
Right? You can have a door-to-door salesperson where they are knocking on one door and then going to their neighbor's door and talking to them. Or police, when they canvass a neighborhood. Canvass means to go out and talk to people. And when they canvass a neighborhood for information, the police will go door to door.
집집마다 들르다라는 뜻의 door to door가 여기서 쓰였고요. 뒤에 나오는 인터뷰를 꾸며줍니다.
So this is going to be the first time that Indonesia will use such a method. And I wanted to explain the difference here between two things. Okay, in the context of the article, the first time to use such a method means a method like this. Okay? But if you hear he is such a nice guy, that's a different meaning. It's emphasizing how nice that guy is. You're seeing the same words, such a method, such a nice guy, but they're different in their context. Such a method means a method like this, and such a nice guy means is emphasizing how nice that person is.
네, 그렇습니다. Excuse me, something's in my throat again. So, such의 두 가지 용법에 대해서 설명해 주셨는데요. 첫 번째 such a method는 이러한 method란 뜻이고 such a nice guy 그러면 정말 너무나 뭐 착한, 친절한, 괜찮은 사람이다 이런 뜻이라서 의미가 좀 다릅니다. Alright, well those were our first two news-focused stories. And again, today we won't do the reread because we are a little short on time.
Quiz question?
But yeah, let's get to the quiz question.
Okie doke. Hot chocolate is preferred by many children because it is blank. Is it number 1, sweet? Is it number 2, sour? Or is it number 3, elegant?
네, 코코아는 이렇죠. 달콤한지 쓴지 우아한지 골라주시면 되겠습니다. 총 5분께 뉴욕타임스 1개월 구독권 보내드리겠습니다. Starship의 Sarah 듣고 와서 다음 뉴스 포커스 살펴볼게요. 네, Starship 노래 듣고 왔습니다. 다음 뉴스 포커스 살펴볼게요. 러시아 연해주에서 멸종 위기에 처한 야생 아무르 호랑이, 일명 백두산 호랑이 한 마리가 버스에 치여 숨지자 경찰이 조사에 나섰다고 현지 언론들이 최근 보도했는데요. Let's listen to the story.
The tragic moment a rare Amur tiger cub was fatally hit by a bus in Russia was captured on video. Sergei Aramilev, head of the Amur Tiger Center dedicated to saving the threatened species, commented, "This is a truly tragic death of a tiger cub, and in this story there are a number of questions that are not yet answered. The main question is why the tiger cub was on its own, without its mother, which at this stage should always be there." Video caught both the moment the endangered cub was hit, but also how wounded and dazed it was as it struggled into the forest after the accident.
And we do have a clip prepared of the actual accident, but I want to give out a warning first of all. The following clip may be disturbing to some viewers and listeners. So the clip is being played right now. It's very dark because it happened in the wee hours of the day. But as you can see, this is CCTV footage, and there's the bus is there we go, right there. An impact on the animal that you saw, which was actually the Amur tiger.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a tragic accident, obviously, and it was captured on video. And one of the big questions here, this is a very young tiger cub, and one of the big questions was why was this tiger cub on its own without its mother? So let's look at that expression, to be on one's own, on my own, on your own, on his own, is his own, her own, their own. And what it means if we say on my own, it means by myself. Sentence example would be, maybe I've been living on my own for the past 6 months. Maybe if you're a university student and you moved to Seoul to study, maybe you lived in the dorm by yourself without a roommate, then you can say, I've been living on my own.
네, 그렇습니다. 혼자라는 뜻이죠. On my own. There's a very famous song in Les Miserables called On My Own.
Oh, really? I've never watched that. Is it good?
It's my favorite musical.
Is that right?
Yes.
Oh, that's Hugh Jackson and...
Hugh Jackman was in the movie version with Anne Hathaway.
Oh, but you're talking about the actual Broadway music.
Fantastic. 그렇죠. On my own, on his own, on its own. 이제 혼자라는 뜻이 되겠습니다.
Yeah, exactly. And you can talk about things that you've accomplished as well. If you go to the Swedish furniture shop and you buy a sofa and you build it by yourself without the help of anyone else, which I do not recommend because that is what I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I did it on my own.
Wow.
And it is not, I think there's some pieces missing. I'm not sure. But I did it on my own. I did it by myself.
네, 그렇죠. 스스로 혼자라는 뜻인데 이 기사에서는 이제 타이거 컵라고 써 있습니다. 이제 어린 호랑이였어요. 그래서 왜 이 호랑이가 어미 없이 이렇게 도로 한복판을 지나고 있었는지 지금 조사 중이라고 합니다. 이 아무르 호랑이, 우리는 이제 백두산 호랑이라고도 하죠. 이게 멸종 위기에 처한 그런 아주 귀한 야생 호랑이이기 때문에 더욱더 관심이 가는 뉴스이기도 하고 그다음에 이 나이대의 아주 어린 호랑이 같은 경우에는 보통 항상 어미와 같이 다닌다고 하는데 왜 그러지 않았는지 의문입니다. Alright, well those were our news focus stories this morning. Let's give out the answer to the quiz.
The question was, hot chocolate is preferred by many children because it is blank. Is it number 1 sweet, number 2 sour, or number 3 elegant? And the answer is number 1 sweet.
네, 너무 달콤한 핫초코 얘기였습니다. 1번 정답입니다.
Especially if you put a marshmallow or
Oh, yeah.
two in there, right? It becomes even sweeter.
맞아요. 북미에서는 그렇게들 많이 드시더라고요. 자, 유재국님, 길봉문님, 박호연님, 9327님과 7979님, 뉴욕타임스 1개월 구독권 보내드리겠습니다. Steve, what is today's expression?
Sure, yeah. I mentioned it during the Zuckerberg article, right? Talking about these tech giants that are going to the EU, going to Brussels to get on the same page as the EU government officials. So to get on the same page, well, first, let's think about it. If you are reading a book and your friend is reading a book and you and your friend are on the same page, means page 25 or 140 or whatever,
Yeah.
it means you're reading the same thing. So with that in mind, let's think about this. Parenting, for example. If your child says, Mom, can I stay up late tonight? And you say, no. And you say, okay, Dad, can I stay up late? And your dad says, sure. Then mom would say to dad later, we have to be on the same page. So when you're on the same page in a book, you're reading the same things. But we use this expression to mean thinking the same
Right.
or acting the same or having the same policy. So if your child says, can I stay up late to mom? And she says no, and yes to dad, and he says yes. Well, then you have to be on the same page. That's what parents think.
네, 마음이 잘 맞는다 이런 뜻이 되겠습니다. Be on the same page.
Yes.
All right. Well, hopefully we were on the same page today as we went through the first hour.
Yeah, right.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you as always for having me. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Now, Steve 선생님 보내드리면서요. Dan Hartman의 I Can Dream About You 듣고 저는 2부에 돌아오겠습니다.